Daniel, yes. I see. And what were the findings? I see. Then there's no doubt. Thank you, Daniel. Keep tracking the object.
And the findings say?
There is definitely an object out there, and preliminary estimates indicate that it is on a direct collision course with Earth. He's going to precisely calculate the object's trajectory and call me with an estimated time of impact.
And what do we do in the meantime?
There's nothing we can do right now. I suggest you go home. I'll call you when I hear anything.
Yes, you do that. Come on, Doctor, let's get some air.
Players, we have waited until mankind was ready to embark on a bold new height of existence, Joshua. You are the first to contact us.
Wow, this is incredible!
It is only the beginning, for upon mankind is the dawning of the Age of Aquarius, and you shall be its new master.
Master.
And I bring you a gift, Joshua Colby.
A gift?
Open your eyes, that I may look through them. There, do you see that object on the table?
Yes?
Concentrate on it. Focus your mind.
All right. Concentrating. It's moving!
Put forth your hand.
It's moving!
Concentrate.
It's coming towards me. I got it! It came to me!
Yes, Joshua Colby.
Did I do that?
You did.
Wow.
And that is not all. I have heightened your sensory powers as well, all to prepare for this next leap forward. Do you have others in your realm? Others who would be interested in this power?
Yes. We're meeting tonight, in fact.
Good. Do you have more crystals?
Yes.
Excellent. They enhance your ability to communicate with our plane of existence. See that the other members of your group wear them when you contact me again.
Yes, I will. But how do I do that? Contact you.
Concentrate and call my name. I will answer. Until then, farewell.
Wow. Wait till the professor hears about this.
More tea, Doctor.
Please.
I must say, I've never seen someone with such a taste for chamomile and hibiscus.
Oh, hibiscus is my favorite. There are over 5,000 varieties of hibiscus in this galaxy alone, and I've dedicated myself to sample each and every one of them.
The galaxy, you say?
Doctor.
So, you too believe that there is more to our world than what we see with our naked eyes?
What the doctor's trying to say...
I can answer for myself quite well, my good man. I'm not 400 anymore, you know.
So, you believe in past lives as well?
Probably not in the same way you do, Professor.
It's actually been an interest of mine all my life. Past life regression, transcendental meditation, I find the whole subject extremely fascinating.
I never would have thought someone like you as a flower child, Professor.
Purely from a scientific perspective, Mr. Newman. At least that's how it all started out, but the more I researched it, the more undeniable it became. There is more to this life than we know. In fact, several of my students have regressed back several lifetimes under deep hypnosis. They have described in detail places and events that they could have no possible way of knowing unless they had actually been there themselves and seen it firsthand. There is no denying this evidence.
Some would.
Close-minded reactionaries. I teach a transcendental meditation class at the university that these people would benefit from greatly, might open their minds to new experiences, or at least brush out the cobwebs and bring them into the 20th century.
There are powers out there, Professor. No one can deny it. But remember, just because you can do something doesn't always mean you should. You could be tapping into something that is beyond your limited comprehension.
That limited comprehension is what we're trying to expand. Right now, we humans only use 10% of our brains. Just think of what we could accomplish if we could only apply that unused portion.
What has your class done, Professor?
Why don't you join us? We're always looking for fresh faces.
I think I'd like to sit in on a session. Might be interesting. Doctor?
I've had enough past lives, thank you. I'll just cope with the one I've got now.
Hello? It's Professor Travers from the university with the results. Go ahead, we're all here. I understand. There's no doubt, then? No possibility of error? No, of course not. I'll be sure and tell them.
What is he saying?
The asteroid is definitely on a collision course with the Earth. There is no miscalculation. I'm putting you on speakerphone, Andrew.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Professor, we're listening.
I'm sorry we took so long about it, but then I guess no one was in a hurry for this type of news. We have a slight discrepancy between the photos you sent over and the data that came from Sydney.
Discrepancy?
We've correlated and double-checked the information several times. There's no doubt that the Earth will be hit, but we're not quite sure when yet. There appears to be a slight change in the velocity of the object that we can't explain, as if the asteroid's slowing down.
What?
That's impossible.
Barring any outside gravitational influence, which there doesn't appear to be, then yes, I would agree. That's what's got us all baffled down here. There's no reason for it to be slowing down, yet the data is incontrovertible.
Doctor?
We have a very unusual asteroid here. Maybe he just wants to stop by for a visit.
I have a class that I can't get out of. Once I'm done there, we'll stop by.
Do you really think it's time for all that New Age nonsense, Carl? We might be facing the end of the world.
My friend, I can think of no better time. Sorry I'm late, ladies and gentlemen. This class may be the most important of your lives, so we shall waste no time. This is a visiting observer, Mark Newman. I think he may find our class most interesting. Have a seat, Mr. Newman.
Professor?
Yes, Mr. Colby.
Take a look at these. I was meditating with one last night, and... well, there's no other way I can explain it. I think I finally achieved a higher level of consciousness. It was amazing!
Where did you get this?
At the New Age shop on Grant. I got enough for everyone, but I didn't know we'd have a guest.
That's all right. Mr. Newman will have to settle on watching the rest of us achieve the next progression. What is this crystal made out of?
He said it was some meteor that he found on his property.
Not the one on display here at the university.
Yeah, that's the one. He said he kept a piece and he's making these cool crystal necklaces out of it. Look, I don't want to get him into trouble for keeping some of that rock.
Don't worry, Mr. Colby. It will be our secret. You said you were able to reach a higher plane?
Yeah, it was weird. I heard a voice. It was talking to me.
A voice?
You've got to try it, Professor. We all do. It's far out.
By all means, hand them out. Together we'll achieve universal consciousness.
Professor, we've been at this for half an hour. I don't think it's working.
Concentrate, young student. Don't think about the end of the journey, but the journey itself. Something's happening.
He's coming. He's coming.
Who's coming? I don't see anything.
Akar! We're here! We're all ready to receive you!
I am Akar of the Hakari.
Who is that?
Do not fear me, Carlton. Long you have searched, and now your search is over. I am here to welcome you all to the next age of mankind, the Age of Aquarius.
I hear him! I hear him!
Joshua Colby was the first to reach this plane, and now you all have joined him. Accept this gift that you may believe.
What's going on?
Who's doing this?
You are, my friends. With your minds, you have the ability to move objects by mere thought. Concentrate. Discipline yourselves, and you will control the world around you. The crystals you possess are a conduit to the next plane. Hold on to them. Use them to spread the good news to your fellow man. Together, we will usher in this new age, and you shall be its leaders and teachers. But you were here first.
We will! We will!
Do not fear what is to come, Colonel Taylor. It is all predestined. Nothing is the end. Only the beginning of the next chapter. Go forth now, brothers and sisters, and make a new world of peace and harmony. Go.
Professor, are you okay? What happened?
Nothing, my friend. There is nothing to fear anymore.
Professor, is class dismissed?
Yes, by all means. We have our instructions. We'll meet back here in 2 days. I expect to hear good things.
I only hope that we'll all be here in 2 days.
Where's your faith, Mr. Newman? In 2 days, the world is going to be a different place.
That's the problem.
Professor Travers?
Ah, Doctor. I'm glad you're here. Where's Professor Taylor?
He's not here?
His class was over half an hour ago. He said he'd be right along after. But so far he hasn't shown up. I rang his office, but no answer. I don't suppose he stopped by his bungalow.
He didn't say anything to me, but then I didn't attend his class, Mark did. I'm surprised he didn't meet me here either.
Well, we'll just have to bring him up to speed later. Observatories from around the world are keeping constant watch on the asteroid. So far, we've alerted our contacts in the government, but we're all agreed that until we know exactly what's happening, we should keep this from public knowledge.
Professor, we have an asteroid that's going to wipe out all life on Earth. I think that's as concrete as we need.
It's not that simple anymore.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure this data will mean anything to you unless you've had an advanced degree in astrophysics.
Well, I'm sure I can recall some basic theories from classes I took as a toddler.
Take a look at this. These are the latest measurements taken from the observatories in China and the Soviet Union.
This doesn't make any sense.
It's definitely slowing down. And changing course.
Remarkable little asteroid we have here.
According to these new figures, and we're still not sure how accurate they are, we now think that it may be settling into an orbit around the Earth.
Professor, are we still sure we're dealing with an asteroid and not something else?
Spectroanalysis says it's nothing more than a rock, just like every other rock out there. If you're saying that we're dealing with a flying saucer, then no. Of that I'm certain. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a skeptic. I'm a scientist, and I deal in hard, cold facts. And the hard, cold fact is that that object out there is an asteroid.
An asteroid that slows down and changes course.
Yes.
I'd have to rewrite the physics books, Professor Travers. Think of it as job security.
Sorry I'm late, Doctor. What'd I miss?
Everything. Where have you been?
Professor Taylor's class. Doctor, you should have been there. It was amazing.
Your young friend sounds like the rest of Professor Taylor's bubble-headed New Agers.
They had these crystals, Doctor, and they connected. They connected with something. Man, things started flying around the room, and they were talking to something.
What?
I couldn't hear it, but it was really weird. They were actually having a conversation. The professor said that he and his class were the heralds of the next age of mankind.
An Age of Aquarius, no doubt. I've heard this gobbledygook 1,000 times. Don't tell me he's conned you too, Mr. Newman.
You should have been there, Professor. You'd be singing a different tune if you were.
If we could concentrate on more relevant matters.
Did Professor Taylor at least tell you where he was going?
Something about spreading the word. He and the whole class got up and left. I saw a few of them talking to the people in the quad. Guess they're trying to get others to join up.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to get him.
No, Professor. You stay here and correlate the data from the observatories. Mark and I will bring back Professor Taylor.
All right, Doctor. But don't be too long. Who knows what that thing will do next?
Keeps life interesting, doesn't it?
Stephen Greenberg! I remember you from my astronomy class last year, yes?
Yes, Professor Taylor. What's happening?
I remember you always had your head among the stars. I finally figured out what you were trying to tell me.
You did?
Yes. My young friend Joshua pointed the way. It's in this.
A crystal?
Not just a crystal, a conduit to mankind's ultimate destiny.
Professor,
We've always wanted a better world, Stephen, and here it is for the taking. Universal peace and harmony is within our grasp. All we have to do is claim it.
Sir, I'm not quite sure what it is you're trying to tell me. But I've got my peace.
How can you?
From God. That's what I was trying to tell you, Professor Taylor. God is the way. All of mankind's problems come from us being apart from Him.
God is within us, Stephen, and we have tapped into that divine spark. It's the dawning of a new age, brother, and I'm offering an enlightened spirit like yours to join us.
I can't, sir. God said He's the only way. Any other way will lead to disaster. And, sir, who would know better about life and the universe than the one who created it?
I thought you were enlightened, Mr. Greenberg, but you're just like the rest, closed-minded to anything you don't agree with.
If something is truth, Professor, then it doesn't require our agreement with it to be truth. You taught us that. Remember?
Away with you!
Had any luck, Professor Taylor?
Nothing but a bunch of reactionary squares.
You have to focus, sir. Concentrate. We are at a higher level of consciousness. Tap into it. The lesser minds won't be able to resist. Can't you feel it? When I first started talking to people, they resisted too. As time passed, I could feel my mind like it was reaching into theirs, convincing them. I've already got 8 to join us.
We have to get more crystals for them.
We don't need to. I haven't used mine since class. Akar has given us the power. Try it. Don't use your crystal, Professor. Just call out to him.
Akar.
I am here, Taylor. You have the power. We are united in purpose, and together we can achieve anything.
By George, Mr. Colby, you're right.
See? Now we will bring mankind to Aquarius whether it wants to go or not.
Professor Taylor, we've been looking all over for you.
Doctor. Mr. Newman.
Professor Travers is waiting for us back at the lab.
We have more important business to attend to, young man.
But the asteroid...
Mark, not here. It's urgent that you return with us to the lab. There's been some unusual developments.
The Age of Aquarius is upon us, and it's time the world joined us in universal harmony.
What are you talking about?
Yes. Aquarius is here.
What?
Mark understands, don't you?
Yes. The next step in human progress has come upon us. Can't you feel it, Doctor?
Mark, snap out of it. What are you all on about?
Join us, Doctor.
Yes.
Join us.
I will not. What's going on? What's happening?
You cannot resist us.
You will join us, Doctor.
All will join us.
You will be given no choice.
No! What are you doing to my mind?
Universal peace.
And harmony for all.
No! No!
Those who resist will either come to us
Or perish.